What's up everyone, I'm Gooshy, and in this video we're going to be going over everything you need to know about playing Tooke in Hood, Outlaws, and Legends. We'll be going over the build that I'm using, as well as the playstyle against each of the other classes, so you can win more duels. So with that, let's get started. So I've put a lot of hours into Tooke, and definitely tried different playstyles, but the build that I ended up with, and which I found out works the best, really focuses on the best parts of his kit, and that is his heavy attack. So in perk slot 1, we're using Unwavering Faith, and the only reason why we're taking this is for the passive ability recharge time being reduced. With Tooke's passive ability, you regain stamina at a faster rate. With more stamina, you could then spam more heavy attacks. With this perk alone, you should always be winning your 1v1s against Johns. And so if we look at the recharge rate, we can basically spam this infinite amount of times if we wait around 1 second after each heavy attack. Keep in mind that we don't want our stamina to deplete fully because it will take a little bit longer for that stamina to regen. And so to get the timing perfectly, you want to wait until your stamina bar gets to at least the second line, or you can just listen to the audio cue. After 2 of those chain ringing sounds, you should have enough stamina to throw out another heavy attack without fully running out of stamina. Alright, so on to our second perk, and the one that we're using is Medicinal Potion. This changes your poison grenade so that it heals you and your teammates. Not only does it help your teammates by keeping their health up, but more importantly it keeps your health up. And that is because our third perk, which is Harrowed Scar. This has you dealing an increased melee damage while your health is full. And because of this perk, you can actually one-shot lower health enemies, specifically Marianne's and Robin's if they don't have any health perks. So John isn't the only one that could one-shot people. Tooke also can do this, but again, you do have to have your health at full. But with the combination of healing grenades and your ult, you should be able to keep your health at full most of the time. And so this build not only does a lot of damage, but also really helps support your team. Before this, I was actually running the poison build, where you don't take any damage from your poison grenades, and the poison drains enemies' stamina faster. But I found that this build has way more sustain, and those one-shots are just so hard to give up. Alright, so moving on to the playstyle. I wanted to quickly go over how to use your heavy attack, because I was horrible at Tooke first until I learned this trick. Like I said before, Tooke's heavy attack is the best part of his kit because it can 2-tap enemies, and because once you land the first heavy attack, the enemy is then stunned long enough to get a second attack immediately. And the reason why this is so good is because you should always be using the lock-on mechanic. Before, I was trying to aim his heavy attack manually and I just wasn't hitting any shots. So just remember, always lock onto an enemy before doing your heavy attack so it's way easier to hit. And so what I usually like to do before every fight is drop a healing grenade. Even if my health is full, most likely me or my teammates will be taking damage. So having that area of effect healing before a fight, so you really don't have to worry about throwing it down during a fight, is really helpful. And so you have to keep in mind that Tooke is a mid-ranged fighter. And so as mentioned before, against Johns, you should be winning most of your fights. Since Johns can't dodge, the only thing you have to do is keep spamming those heavy attacks, which should break his guard completely. The hardest part is just making sure that your timings are right so that you can slowly get damage in. Next, onto fighting other Tookes. So most other Tookes run poison grenades, and that is the best part of their kit. So once you see them throw it down, honestly the only thing you have to do is make sure you're not standing in it. From there, all you have to do is manage your stamina so you don't get hit by the other Tooke's attack. In this situation, being the first one to attack is super important so you can get damage in first. Next, moving on to Robins. The main thing about fighting against Robins is getting up close. There's literally nothing you can do if they're far away. So getting in range for your heavy attack is your first objective. So just constantly use cover until you can get close enough. From there, you just want to pay attention to every time the Robin fires. There's a good 3-second delay after every shot for them to fully draw their bow. So those are your timings to either get close or get an attack in. From here, you really have to gauge how good the Robin is. I usually first like to throw out a heavy attack just to see how good their reactions are. If you hit one heavy attack, Robins get staggered long enough so you can immediately throw out another heavy attack and hit them again to kill them. Just keep in mind that once you hit that first heavy attack, they are staggered backwards. So if you're not in range for that second heavy attack, you'll completely be out of stamina and left defenseless. So just make sure you're in range. If the Robin is good enough and ends up evading your attacks, you then want to start going for light attacks, mostly to drain their stamina. Again, because your stamina regens faster, you want to just take your time and make sure that your stamina regens before triggering another attack. Finally, let's go over how to duel against Mariannes. Dueling Mariannes are pretty much the same as Robins, but they can fire a lot faster. Because of this, you will find yourself blocking more and running out of stamina more. So you really have to play around cover. I found that most Mariannes are pretty good at dodging your attacks, so if you don't get that initial kill with your heavy, definitely go for those light attacks to drain their stamina. And with that, that's everything you guys need to know on the best way I found to play Tooke. Like I said before, I really do think this is better than the poison build, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Hope to catch you in the next one, and GG.